actually Hilchos Yom Kippur, and we're in סימן Tafre Zion, and we're in the middle of Tafre Zion. In Tafre Zion, Sivov. But being that tomorrow night is Rosh Hashanah, so in order you shouldn't forget, I want to clarify something. If you go in the store today, I was in the store today myself, so there's a whole array of different type of fruits. Somebody says it comes from different parts of the country, and there's different people that they eat these fruits for some of them. These fruits were not just planted for the Yidden for Rosh Hashanah at night. I mean, no one should think that way. One of the very popular fruits that is what's called the rimain. Rimain means a pomegranate. Now, a lot of people make a mistake over here. Right. And I guess I want to explain this part. Years ago, when I say, like in the early years of the Rebbe's Nesias, Rimainim is not the season for pomegranates. Now, the season is back around Shvat time, huh? I know you can get it now, but I'm telling you that. Okay. Years ago, Rimainim were not around Rosh Hashanah. How did the Rebbe wanted the Rimainim? How did you get the Rimainim? There was the Rebbe's Shliach, Rabbi Reichik, who lived in California. So in California, there's a place over there. If anyone's familiar with California, on a street called Fairfax, there's a street called Farmers Market. Right. Farmers Market today, a little bit of that is there on Ocean on Coney Island Avenue. Orchard. There's a store called Orchard that gets all the exotic fruits. That gets it, when no one has it, they have it. But those years there was no orchard on Coney Island Avenue. Rabbi Reichik used to bring with him from Farmers Market a case of pomegranates, and B'meila they had pomegranates, and he gave a few people. I used to get from him also, get pomegranates. Now, people think in the Welt, the second day of Shoshana, you have to make a shechayonu, like we learned in Shulchan, because there's a whole shayla. Is it a yom barichta? Is it 2 days? What it is? And to get around it, you make a shechayonu. So people are under the impression that the best fruit for a shechayonu is the pomegranate. That's true. If you didn't eat pomegranate during the year, so then when you eat the pomegranate the first time, you have to make a shechayonu. And normally, if you're not doing it in Kiddush, like in a Suda, so the Alter Rebbe, again, I emphasize this because that's another thing that people sometimes don't realize. The Alter Rebbe's shita in Birchas Hananan is that when you eat a pomegranate or something else, or for that matter, it could be, well, no, it wouldn't apply to Kiddush. But you have to first make a shechayonu and then make a bracha ber priyas.
Even though it's tada kodesh.
Yeah.
But so, here we make a shechayonu
and the Rebbe shita is because the simcha was really on the riyah when you saw the fruit the first time or when you saw it in the store. Then there you should have made a shechayonu. So it comes before and the comes before. So you make first the shechayonu and then you make a ber priyas. Rosh Hashanah at night, the shaila doesn't apply.
First time.
Why? Because you're making Kiddush. And in the Kiddush, you're making Shechayonu. So it's talking the Shechayonu is talking before the Beit Pri-Eitz, but not because of the Alter Rebbe's reason. It's just because you make Kiddush, so you make the Yontif, you have to make a Shechayonu. Then you're eating fruit. So on the fruit, you have to make a Beit Pri-Eitz. And it's advisable that the fruits should be on the table because you're making the shechayonu. So when you make the shechayonu, you can also take a look at the fruit and have in mind the fruit. There's a whole pilpul about it. If the fruits have to be on the table, the Rabbanim in Eretz Yisrael gave out also like a pamphlet with all the dinim of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, you know, a 52-page pamphlet. You can go on COL and you can download it if you want. And I saw that there's a footnote over there that there was a one time years ago where the Rebbe asked, "Where's the Rimainim?" And so there's a סימן that the Rimainim weren't on the table. And then later they brought a Riman Taka, and the Rebbe ate it and they make another Shechayonu. So they want a pilpul zechor. There's a whole pilpul over there. If you have to have the fruit on the table, or if you had it in mind that you're going to eat it. We wouldn't go into that shadow, but I'm just telling you.
But there's a different question over here.
Let me just finish what I want to say. This is alles gut and developed. Lubavitch has a minig that the first night Rosh Hashanah Esmer Rimainim.
Right.
It has nothing to do with Shechayonu.
That's the mistake that everybody makes. They think that the Shechayonu.
A lot of people think that it has to do with the second night because you have to have Shechayonu.
Right.
So I'm telling you that the Inyan of Rimainim in Lubavitch is a minig to eat Rimainim the first night during the meal. Or you could eat it for dessert, or you could eat it during the meal with your main dish, whatever way you want. But
the belt also uses it. But
so what I'm saying is that if you're preparing fruit for Shechayonu and you prepare a Rimain, ask the Rimain Gesundheit the first night and go and get additional fruit on which to make a Shechayonu.
The Shaila is a different question. On the first night, if you haven't eaten a Riman in 90 days or whatever, or this season, right? And you made a Shechayonu and the Riman was not on the table, and now you're going to eat the Riman, you make a Shechayonu, a separate one on the Riman.
It would all depend if the Riman is from a new crop.
I'm saying if he didn't, or he didn't eat it.
The Rimanim that they get now is not from the
I
what
said,
you
but
had.
if you didn't eat it even then.
So then make it now.
No, with no connection to the kids, you make a simple one.
Aber es ist doch eine andere Sache, Scheide. Wir bringen Tonne, die ungarische, also gekommen in großen von South-Amerika.
So what's the difference?
No.
Ist kein Stop.
No.
Ja,
It's a new harvest. It's a new harvest.
Wat me graag schrijven nog een Shulchan Aruch op die peres.
Bird praise.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Right. The confusion is always that they think that the Riman is connected with the Shechayanu, like you said, Rabbi. And most people confuse that. I said the Riman has to be the first night. Shechayanu was something else for tomorrow.
Another thing, talking about the new Peiros.
Yeah, today you do.
Another thing, talking about the new Peiros, is that the new Peiros we eat. You make Kiddush the second night, Matzah Shah, you make Kiddush, and then you eat the new Peiros.
Yeah.
So some people are nizah to eat less than a shear because otherwise you have to make a bracha achrayna. So what I want to be ma'ayda is you don't have to be nizah to eat less than a shear. You should eat more than a shear, enjoy all your fruit, and make a bracha achrayna. And if it's the Peiros, that depends. I don't want to say. If the Peiros are from Eretz Yisrael, then you have to make Shenish Tapcha B'hem Eretz Yisrael, not just from Eretz Yisrael. If you buy what they call, what do they call it? The cactus. What's it called? The sabra. On a sabra, you don't make alates or pre-ates. It's not maybe from Eretz Yisrael, but it's not a Peiros Shenish Tapcha B'hem Eretz Yisrael. But if it's, let's say, olives or dates or some type of a grape or what, then you have to make eights for 3 eighths before you go to wash, and then you'll make.
So it's better to eat more and to make the bracha achrayna.
Why not bracha?
What's the shayla by the other ones? What's wrong? Why dafki eat less?
People think only a little bit that they shouldn't have a shayla. Do I have to make a bracha?
Could they have a suffix?
You will have a shayla if you eat enough.
Could not everything that you eat before. Not every commercial. Okay. Let me give you an example. Via commercial Shabbos. Okay, if there's a kiddush, In a lot of places where they have like a catered meal for Shabbos, first the Oiler makes Kiddush, and then they take some cake of Makal Suda, and then they go to wash. They don't make Al Micha. If the Kiddush has a whole smorgasbord, where you can have a whole meal before, and then you go to eat, so then you'll have to make a bracha achrayna. But if it's just you ate a piece of cake, kiddush or sugar, you don't make a.
Even if you eat a kazayas?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's a good.
No, he says even if you eat more than the shear, you don't make it. Just get the mention.
Okay, let's learn something over here in Tafrei Zion. See if. Oh no, I can't talk to you. Moshe, I can't talk to you now. Middle of shir. Sivav. Say the Havidu. Ba'al HaChatayim she'on chayav moleim oilo v'achakach chatos v'achakach kom. In other words, in the al-chaitz that we have, first it goes individual al-chaitz. Then the rest goes al-chatoyim, it's a sort of collective. So the Seder is that we say oilo, chatos, kom oilo v'yored, v'achakach oshem vaday v'tovu. Ufi shekach sidram hakabonis b'parshas vayikra. In the Chumash, where it talks about the different kabonis, that's the Seder of the kabonah. V'achakach shon chayav moleim makas madas. Makas madas means makas d'rabbanan. There is a shaila. What's the taich makas madas? Does it mean 39 makas, or does it mean a third of the 40 of the 39 of the it's the 13 makas? V'achakach malkas aboyim, v'achakach misa b'dei shamayim, v'achakach koras variri, v'achakach abba misas bezin, and rechem dot no skil sefer chere v'chanim, ki tzorach avakesh ala kal tchila. V'achakach moisu v'hoyle, k'moshe esbar b'simen tav kuf pei beis. Okay. He's just explaining that
The kabbanis goes one way, and the punishments go the other way.
Yom Roshin Kapara Lachatayim V'Roshin Mechila U'Ravoynes V'Roshin Slicha L'Peshayim. Peshayim is the worst. So over there you're asking for Slicha. Ki Achet Kal Me'oven. The chet is not as serious as the oven. It's serious, but not as serious. The oven is kalmi pesha. V'akapara gedoylo mehamachila. V'hamachila gedoylo mehasricha. V'fichach hachet hu miskaper v'nimchal achet hu miskaper v'nimchal ha'oven v'nisrach ha'pesha. That's how it fits each one. V'tzorach v'yizvades me'umed, and vidu has to be said me'umed. V'fichach v'yismach al davar, he shouldn't lean on something or support himself on something. Be'inyan she'im yinoto oiseh davar. In other words, what's considered standing? Standing means if you're leaning on something, is that standing or not? So he says it depends. If they take the thing away and you fall down, so then you weren't standing, you were leaning. So he's saying, "Vayismach al davar be'inyan," in such a way, she'im yinoto oiseh davar shu saimach alav hayanayfu, he would fall. K'moshe esbar b'simen tav kopei hey. V'tayv rischais, it's good to be bent a little bit. Be'eis havidu, k'may b'maydim, like by maydim we bend our head. In other words, to be bent is just not to be upright that you look like you're the boss. And when he says the Alchet, the Vidu, Yaakov be'greifei al alev, he should knock on his heart with his fist. What's the idea of that? Klaimer. Eze grama ata garamta liyachet. You're the one, the shekel the Lashon halev chaimed. So it's saying that v'yesh noigel hakas al achozer mitham hayidu lehem b'sapika bolo. Ava pi his vada b'tfilah. Lachash, even though in the Stille Shemoneh Esrei he said it, Ava pi ken k'shachatz magia lavidu tzarech lachzer v'lamay u'lizvadais imay tegei. So that's what we do also. We do it at the end of the Shemoneh Esrei, and the Shliach Tzibah does it in the middle of the Shemoneh Esrei. U'bevidu zeh ein tzarech lefaret hachet kivin she'omer im hashas abonat nechatonu. Die, that alone is enough. But if he has difficulty to stand, you could just say and that's it. When we come you shouldn't, in other words, if you're talking and schmoozing, you're assuming that you don't think it has a shackles to you. So you have to have respect for it. If he had Revedas and last year he already was Mizvadana, Alpa Pi Shekvar Niskapru, Alpa Pikain Yochel Lazar Ulefertum, Bevidu, Veloyoid, and not even more, Elishachaiza Upertum, Harezem Bishubach, Shenem Shen Pasach Atosi Negdi Summit, Klaiman. Any sovereign, I don't think shekipaltoli that you already forgave me. But who tomet kilu who negdi tomet. It's always before me. There's a vote that the Rebbe that the Friedrich Rebbe after Yom Kippur asked his father, the Rebbe Rashab, he asked him. No, what's happening jetzt son? Like what's the question? The question is everything is accomplished. Everything's accomplished. It's a clear sheet, right? A clear blank page. So what's that? So what did the Rebbe Shabbat answer? Again, it's up in Esh Tshuvaton. So the people zuständig. What does that mean? Ist up in Esh Tshuvaton. So I explain it in a very simple way. There's an expression in Pirkei Avos, Ufum Gamla Shechma. In other words, according to every donkey could handle a different weight. There's no standard weight that you say a donkey can handle 10 pounds. Every donkey, one is a stronger one, one's a weaker one. So it varies. The pshat what the Rebbe Rashab said to the Rebbe is, now that we came to the madrega of what we accomplished in Yom Kippur, wir mögen monten bei uns jetzt ganz anders. Was wir nicht gemonten bei uns Yom Kippur, hat man jetzt monnen. Because in Kippur we are of a lower level, so you don't have if you're having a company, you have the simple employees, and you have the executive. The higher the rank goes, you demand more. So then Kippur, the one from the lower level, raised himself and he became into a higher level. Oh, Azay, now that you're a higher level, this thing is something that you have to account for. That's what the Rebbe meant. Maybe Mashpim have a different hezbollah, but I think this is a very balbatish cheshbon. That's what I mean. Yes, I'm an Ashtu.
Now we're on another level.
Now we're of a higher level, so they expect more of us. I once heard from Rabbi Jacobson a story He said that the Friedrich Rebbe once had a taina to somebody. He did something. So the person explained to the Friedrich Rebbe why he did it. So the Friedrich Rebbe said to him, "Du meinst, als ich getracht habe, du hast nicht kein Territz. Ich habe gewollt, als ich ein Kaschen sein." It's a different madrega. I'm not looking for Territz. In the beginning, you know, you sagt man a Territz. But once you reach a different level, it's all concussion design. For you, I would expect different. Okay. We'll stop over here.